Folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. North Georgia's only live online morning show. It's Wednesday, 9/21, and tomorrow will be obviously Thursday, and then Friday we'll have a special show Friday morning with at Circuit World in Blue Ridge. Circuit World in Blue Ridge. Don't forget, if you go to Circuit World of Blue Ridge Facebook page, and you like it and then share, you got to share the contest. You look for the contest, go to Circuit World of Blue Ridge Facebook page, scroll till you find the contest. Now, you have a choice. The winner has a choice of an Xbox. Is it One? Did I get that right this time? I didn't write it. Okay, Xbox One or a 43-inch HD TV. It's your choice. The winner, the only rules to enter is to go to Circuit World Blue Ridge Facebook page, find the post, hit like on the like their page, and after you like their page, share it. Okay. You know, I know its time is running out for me to join Obamacare. How many times a day do you get calls telling you you're running out of time to sign up for Obamacare? I thought it was dead. So anyhow, go to Circuit World of Blue Ridge Facebook page, like it, share the post. When you got to share the post for the contest, you're automatically entered to win, and that's going to be announced Friday. We can't wait to do that. Big announcement Friday of the winner, your choice there. So we'll have Ask the Doc. We will have the All-Star Political Panel that we're going to be doing a little year in review. And after the All-Star Political Panel, we're going to have Jessie Barton's going to be up there. She is Community Relations Director at Cameron Hall, North Georgia Senior Living. You know, I'm going to make a statement here. I'm not going to tell you my age. How about that? I'm not going to venture into my age. But, you know, when you call mom and dad on Sunday, all right, and there's maybe you're getting to the point where there's some difficult discussions you need to have with mom and dad, all right. I called my mom Sunday, and I called my dad Sunday. My dad can't go out of the house anymore and go to church, and my mom wasn't home from church yet after church, because she had gone by the assisted living there to see her 92-year-old friend that was, and I forget the name of the place, that she visits about twice a month on Sunday after church. Anyhow, that being said, sometimes it's around the Christmas holiday, usually Thanksgiving or Christmas, when families, your brothers and sisters, you get together and you start thinking about that discussion of maybe assisted living or something with mom or dad. It may be the time you start discussing that. That could be a difficult time. And I want to say to you, Cameron Hall, Jessie Barton, and I want to recommend you get in touch with Jessie Barton. If you need some help approaching that, you need to answer some questions, that subject, get in touch with Jessie Barton, the Community Relations Director at Cameron Hall. Outstanding person, will do a great job helping you out and working with you through some of maybe the conversations that you need to have with mom and dad this Christmas time. Again, she's up there at Cameron Hall, Community Relations Director, Jessie Barton. Yeah, we'll have her on the show. And then after that, we'll have we have Ask the Doc with Dr. William Whaley, the All-Star Political Panel, Jessie Barton, and then the Pet of the Week from the Humane Society. Okay, and that's how we'll close out. Now, Friday, when we finish our show up, we will not be back until Wednesday, right? Wednesday, January 2nd, because next week, FYNTV.com, folks, I can't help it. Upper management took over next week. You have Christmas You have Christmas Eve Monday, which the president's giving everybody the day off. If you look at it, he's giving them Monday off. Look at it. All right. So we got Monday off because the president said we're off Monday, and then Tuesday I know I'm in trouble because you're saying, wait a minute, they didn't tell us at our job we're off Monday. What are you talking about? Just saying, all right? So you have Monday, and then Tuesday's Christmas, and then Wednesday we will be broadcasting from 9 o'clock to, I think, 10 o'clock at night. I don't know, 3 days. Then we'll have another 4 days off, so we'll be able to chill out. But FYNTV.com is being taken over by Team FYN Sports because we're going to be broadcasting Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of next week from Fannin County Park and Rec for the annual Christmas Clash basketball. 8s, 10s, and 12-year-olds. Going to be a great time. A lot of fun. A lot of fun up there. 65 teams from North Georgia will be there. The place will be packed. It'll be a madhouse. And who else will be there but Team FYN Sports? So there you go. I think I covered that. You know, I was thinking, you remember, let's do something. Let's have a little fun. You remember, all right, let's go back in the old days, right? You remember the phone company in the old days had business hours? Now, wait a minute, what I'm saying by that, right? So you had different rates. So I'm talking, let's just say 1971. Let's just pull up 1971. So you remember, you did not dare touch that phone till like after 6 because the phone circuits were business circuits. So if you're East Coast, you did not. Yeah, I'm telling you, you don't believe me? You don't have to believe me. Because it cost more to use the phone, daytime rate. Daytime, okay? And then you didn't touch that phone until after 6 o'clock. And then Sunday, do you remember, was it Sunday at 9 p.m.? Sunday night, 9 p.m. That's when you called home. You didn't just pick up the phone, all right? You could call Sunday, right? And I don't know, that's why I'm in the habit, not that I wouldn't call any other time. I'm more in the habit of calling, you know, my mom and dad on Sunday, okay? I don't know. But do you remember that? You remember that the phone company put a special, you called home at 9 o'clock Sunday night because the phone company had a special rate. That's the lowest rate. Because there was a such thing then to call long distance. Yes. To call long distance. You had a special rate to call long distance Sunday night, 9 o'clock. Just thinking, remember it. Remember calling home? Okay, so the criminal justice bill, and I want to say this just to give a quick shout out. So you got number 16, put it 17. The Senate passed prison reform. Prison reform. House expected to vote on the bill this week. So it's going over to the House, but you have a prison reform bill, okay? And there's a lot of details in there, and there's 12 Republicans that voted no, I understand. And they got some problems with some of the crime or some of the criminals that could be let out that they feel is more dangerous. A couple details there. So we'll go with right now that I'll go with right now. I support the criminal reform bill. The point is this is a Jared Kushner. Now, if you take the time to look inside this White House and you look at the legislation that's been done from inside this White House, okay? All right. Now, the new trade deal that took the place of NAFTA, all right? All right. North American Free Trade Agreement, which was a piece of garbage. All right. So the now USMC, United States, Mexico, Canada trade agreement, all right, is much better, and Mexico could pay for the wall out of that agreement by what we have fixed that agreement to the point that the money, the return, will be more than enough to pay for a wall. When Trump went to Argentina, the President of the United States went to Argentina, did they give, look this up, did they give, did the Mexican president give Jared Kushner some kind of medal, the highest medal they could give somebody? Did Jared Kushner get a medal? Look at that, okay? For his work on the trade agreement. Now you have your Senate passes prison reform bill. Jared Kushner. Just pay attention. Kushner may have may be a little more on the art of the deal than you would think as far as a negotiator. The negotiator in the White House right now may be Jared Kushner, of all people. So we have that, all right? So let's look at really quick, Senate working on short-term spending bill. And I got up today, Wednesday. I've got tomorrow, and then Friday I'm going to have so much fun on the show, and then the next week it's going to be basketball. And I got up this morning saying, don't let some things bother you, okay? So at 4 a.m. this morning, let's go to number 16. So at 4 a.m. this morning, I see Senate working on short-term spending plan. So there's a CR. You'll keep hearing the Senate may pass a CR, continuing resolution, that would financially fund the government through 2020 up to September of 2020, right? And I mean 19. What did I said earlier, New Year's, I said, why didn't you correct me 2020? It's 2018. It's going to be 2019. I jumped a year. Why didn't you correct me on my New Year's Eve 2020 glasses? All right, it's supposed to be 2019. I got all worked up. So anyway, I'll go back there, correction 2019. So 2019, it would make the spending up to September of 2019, a continuing resolution at the same rate we're spending now. All right? Not to mention we don't have any money. I mean, I always get amazed that every once in a while I just have to look at the camera and say, America, you're broke. You are broke. All right? You know, you take your books, okay? You take your books, your financial books, to the accountant, and the accountant comes back and says, you're broke, you just don't know it. You're broke, you just don't know it. Exactly. Now, there's things I've never been proud of, and there's things that I don't brag about, but there's things I learned the hard way. But in 2008, when I made a decision to close our company, when the financial collapse came through, because I had a business that was revolving around the building industry in North Georgia, which we all know what happened to that, right? And in 2008, my accountant looked at me and said, you're broke and you just don't know it. You're operating, but you're broke. I'm going to look at you. This is just as true and raw as I can be. You're operating. Now, I had in 2008, and I'm going to tell you out there, if some of you are so damn proud you can't say that, that's okay. That's up to you. But you know, you get in a situation where the government, the economy collapsed. It's 2008. Now you're into 2009. And you know, I'll tell you the biggest joke I make out of it, but as we're closing, let's just say 2008, the stock market has crashed as we know it, and King Paulson, I mean, Donald Trump, I mean, is nowhere in sight, and John McCain's running for president, Barack Obama, and George W. Bush is the President of the United States, and, you know, Henry Paulson is the Treasury Secretary, and, you know, we have to give him $8 billion or the world will end as we know it tomorrow. And, you know, and so John McCain gets on a plane and suspends his campaign. Obama suspends his campaign. They get down there and they both vote yes for an $800 billion TARP to bail out the financial industry. And at that time, you know, we have companies much like mine. I use some round numbers that in 90 days you have an AR that goes from 1.5 million to 600,000 in 90 days. So that being said, you have an accountant that looks at you, and there's accountants that's looked at a lot of people in 2008, says, you know, you're operating, you're flowing right along in some areas, but you're broke and you just don't know it. And I'll tell you what, that accountant looked at me and said, you're broke and you don't know it. You can operate, but you ain't coming out of it. You don't come out of this. I'm telling you. You don't, if your accountant look at you and say, you don't come out of this. You don't come out of this. When the accountant says you don't come out of it, you're broke and you don't know it, and you don't come out of it. The accountant says the economy can turn around and it could boom, and you don't come out of it. Because if it takes 2 years, you can't sustain. And that's when I always say jokingly, I had a choice to leave with $5 or nothing, and I took the $5. Now, that being said, every time I see a line that says Senate working on short-term spending bill, America, you're broke. And you don't know it. And the current Congress that you have today, you're not coming out of it with the spending. I'm going to take a break, come back, wrap up the show.